Yo, check it. All right, yo, what is up? You are back. You already know what time it is. Weekly outlook and prediction time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your weekly outlook and prediction. Basically, we look at the macro of the stocks and predict on a macro level. Will we see a red or green week? What type of moves are we expecting? Key levels that you need to know as a trader and investor, and what data is dropping. This gives you the information that you need to know as a trader and investor for the whole entire week. This video is not financial advice, should not be taken as such. Without wasting any more of your precious time, let's go ahead and hop in the charts, the facts, the data. Let's go. All right, y'all, what is up? You are back for another video with Datazero. In this video, we're looking at AMC, GME, and SPY. We're also looking at Bitcoin and the overall cryptocurrency market. This is your weekly outlook and prediction where we go over the charts on a weekly basis and try to give you a macro outlook of everything going on and what we expect for this upcoming trading week. This video is not financial advice and should not be taken as such. Please do your own research and due diligence before buying any stock or crypto asset. With that being said, let's go and hop in the charts, the facts, the data, showing you guys what we have going on for this week. We're going to start off with the cryptocurrency markets. I want to start off with Ethereum. Ethereum making some bullish moves. Now, again, I am often talking about how bullish I am on cryptocurrency, how I believe that this is one of the best opportunities that we have for an investment, and the most gains will be seen in the cryptocurrency markets as the adoption takes place and as we move into the future. You guys can see Ethereum now holding this 3.7K level. So it looks like this 3.7, 3.6K level is now the floor for Ethereum. This is probably where they're starting to accumulate for the Ethereum spot ETF. And I do expect Ethereum to make a move for that $4,000 range here very, very soon, especially once we get the announcement of the ETF. I'm expecting us to break all-time highs on Ethereum and push up. I do not think that this crypto bull run that we're seeing is over, and I'm going to talk about why I believe that here in a second as well. But I believe that Ethereum is going to be pushing to the upside. You guys can see that we're breaking out of this bull flag right here after this push to the upside. We have this rounded bottom structure right here, and it looks like Ethereum is about to make a move to the upside. 2-hour MACD bullish with alligator spread, letting us know that it's bullish as well. So this is bullish indications for more upside for Ethereum, and I do think we are going to see a push up here for the cryptocurrency market coming in the next couple of weeks. If we go ahead and look at what's going on for Bitcoin, you guys can see Bitcoin is coiling up right underneath that key level of 69.2K. Now, this is very, very interesting because if we see a pop above the 69.2K region, you're going to see a nice pop to the upside, and it looks like we're set up for that as we do have this bullish pennant right here, and this is my trajectory for Bitcoin. The last time we had a trajectory for the macro for Bitcoin, it did trace perfectly. I'm hoping this one does the same or nearly as well. This one traced immaculately well. I don't expect this one to do as well, but if we could get something similar, what we are expecting to see is a breakout of this sloping resistance and support, using that as support and then pushing to the upside, breaking above that 69.2K, and that will probably be the final push to allow us to finally confirm that level and stay above that level. You guys can see we keep getting rejected from that level, rejected from that level, rejected from that level. It looks like what we're doing is building the momentum we need to make the final push to stay above that level, and that will allow Bitcoin to make an all-time high, a new all-time high, and this would be extremely bullish, especially if Ethereum starts pushing up as well. This will push the entire cryptocurrency market up. This is why I believe some altcoins have not mooned. Some altcoins have mooned, but some have not, and I believe that the Bitcoin and the crypto bull run is still coming, and that's why your favorite altcoin project has not taken off just yet, because that altcoin season hasn't started, because I think Bitcoin still has a little bit more legs left to run to the upside, in my personal opinion. And I know that seems crazy to some people, but this is a very bullish consolidation after a massive move up. If you guys see, we have this massive move up and we are just consolidating at these higher levels, and now we're consolidating right underneath the level we need to be with a bullish structure. This is extremely bullish in my personal opinion, especially with the Ethereum spot ETF news coming out as well, and then of course crypto adoption happening every single day. So this is what we're looking at for the overall cryptocurrency market. I am bullish on BTC. I think BTC is going to be making this move above 69.2K here in the next couple of days and weeks, and I think Ethereum will be making a move towards that $4,000 range in the next couple of days and weeks. So I am bullish on crypto. Let's move into SPY and show you guys what's going on with SPY. And of course, we're going to wrap up with the meme stocks. Very interesting week coming up for the meme stocks. And for SPY, we're going to be talking about NASDAQ as well. So let's show you guys what's going on in the overall market. Of course, the main star of the show is NVIDIA. We're going to be watching this stock as well because NVIDIA is going to be determining what's going on. You guys can see NVIDIA had this massive pullback here, and that did cause the market to pull back as well. NVIDIA, one of the biggest movers in the market right now, causing some of the biggest moves in SPY and NASDAQ. So here's what we're looking at for SPY. You guys can see that daily MACD is red and weekly MACD is red, okay? This is very, very telling for what we're about to see next. You guys can see that we're getting these indecision candles here on the weekly time frame. You guys can see we're getting these hammer style and these doji candles. I told you this doji was normally an indication of a top, and that was a top right there. I told you guys last week would be, or this week here, we'd be experiencing a red week, especially after we've seen that doji. I told you that this week would most likely be red as well. We got that doji candle, and that did bring us back to the downside, but now you can see that we have this hammer candle, which is actually a bullish candle, and we are trying to push back to the upside. What I believe SPY is going to try to do is push back up to at least this 530.01 level. This is going to be the major key for SPY, and this is what we're going to want to be watching. Can SPY break above 530.01? That is going to be the major key. If we can break above that, then we can make a push for this 534, maybe even 535. But I don't think we will be going much higher than that. What SPY looks like it's most likely going to try to do is probably get rejected the first time it goes for this 530, but eventually get above it and then push up and then probably pull back. So I'm thinking SPY is going to come up for a retest of this upper sloping resistance on this macro bear flag. You guys can see this upper sloping support and resistance. You guys can see how SPY broke above it, used it as support, got a nice bounce, but then ended up breaking back inside of the bear flag. And I told you if we broke back inside of the bear flag and confirmed it, you'd see a big move down. That's exactly what we saw. We confirmed it, and then we made this big move to the downside. We got a false break to the downside, like we were going to break out of the bear flag, but then we did get our bounce, our side getting oversold, and we are now getting that recovery bounce. I think we are going to push to the upside and try to make a move, but I think it's going to lead to an overall failure in my personal opinion, because of what I'm looking at on the macro. So basically what I'm looking at here on the macro, if you go ahead and look at the weekly time frame, you guys can see that we do have that red MACD RSI getting into that overbought territory. Now we still have a little bit of room to run on the RSI before getting at overbought. It's at 68. Overbought is officially at 70, but it's getting close to that overbought territory. But I want you guys to pay key attention to the volume. Look how volume is absolutely just dropping off a cliff. This type of uptrend needs a lot of volume, and really what you should be seeing is volume spiking and rallying and pushing to the upside, and we just do not have the volume we need. We can see that volume is in an overall downtrend and price is in an overall uptrend. You do not want to see these types of divergences. You guys can see that we have this red weekly MACD. We also have multiple gap fills to the downside, and we also have red daily MACD, and you can also see that same volume trend on the daily time frame as well. Volume trending down and coming down very, very aggressively over the past couple of days. It looks like SPY is topping out in my personal opinion, okay? Now, I'm just saying it could be a local top. We could come back down. I'm not saying an absolute complete peak, but it does look like SPY is going to try to push up, and that is going to lead to another overall failure, which is eventually going to lead us coming down and breaking out of this bear flag. Now, this is not going to be this week, but if we did break out of the bear flag, you would see a big move to the downside. But what I'm expecting for this week is a push to the upside, and then coming down, probably retesting this, trying to use that as support, and then that actually failing and then breaking down out of this bear flag based off everything I'm seeing here, and then that would lead to a bigger move to the downside in the next coming weeks. So for this week, I do think we are going to see green for SPY. I think SPY is going to be pushing to the upside, trying to come back up and retest this upper sloping support and resistance. I think ultimately it's going to get there and then get rejected from that, which is going to lead to a move to the downside in my personal opinion. But I believe that overall we're going to be closing on a green week in my personal opinion. So this is what I'm looking at for SPY. I'm going to show you guys NASDAQ as well. Showing you guys what's going on with NASDAQ. NASDAQ was able to fill multiple gaps. So you guys can see that this gap got filled on NASDAQ. And then we also have this gap filled as well on NASDAQ. So NASDAQ had multiple gaps get filled over this past couple of days and weeks. But we still have multiple gap fills to the downside. We have this huge gap fill to the downside. NASDAQ breaking down out of a massive rising wedge. You guys can see last time we broke down out of a rising wedge, NASDAQ kind of went flat and then capitulated. Well, this is what it's doing again now. It's kind of went flat and now it's capitulating. It looks like NASDAQ is getting a recovery bounce, but you can see that here on the daily MACD, it is turning red. And I think that recovery bounce is going to lead to a bounce up to these higher levels, but that's going to be an overall double top shape. And that is also going to correlate with what I was talking about with SPY pushing up and then overall leading to a failure rally, which leads back to the downside. So I do think SPY is going to be moving up and then pulling back. I think NASDAQ is going to be pushing up and then pulling back, and that all correlates with the same things together. If we go ahead and look at the weekly MACD on NASDAQ, it is also red as well. And when in doubt, zoom out. The macro is showing that this is bearish. Now, bears are not ready to take control just yet. I do think we're going to get a nice recovery bounce back to the upside for this week, but I believe that overall that's going to lead to a failure rally, which brings us back to the downside, and we're going to be looking at more bearishness here in the future for the overall market. Now, we really want to just be watching NVIDIA as well. I think NVIDIA might rally as that stock split news comes into play. But we will have to see how NVIDIA reacts after the stock split, and I will want to see the chart after the stock split because NVIDIA has multiple gap fills to the downside. We want to see how these gaps are affected and or changed. But right now, it looks like NVIDIA is starting to lose some momentum, but I'm expecting NVIDIA to get a bounce, probably coming back up to try to retest this 1,148 level, and that would also correlate with the market trying to come up. But I believe that NVIDIA might end up also making a double top type structure and pulling back, maybe blasting above it just a little bit, but I believe that it's going to make a double top type structure and come down as well, because you guys can see here on the bigger time frames on NVIDIA, you guys can see that MACD starting to curl down. And you guys can see not very green MACD here. RSI extremely overbought, so we are in extremely overbought territories. Now the video has a lot of hype around it, so if we do get above that $1,148 level, you would see a nice pop to the upside. That is the level I'm going to be watching for NVIDIA. But again, if it did make that double type structure, that would also correlate with SPY pushing up and then pulling back. And this is why I do have that thesis for this week. So this is what I'm looking at for the overall market. Again, we're going to be watching for NVIDIA on SPY. We're going to be watching for that critical level of 530.01. We want to see if SPY can break above that level. If it can, it's going to see a decent pop to the upside. If it cannot break that level, it's going to see a decent move to the downside. So we're going to be watching that level. It's a critical level to watch. Me personally, I think we're going to be able to break to the upside, but that's going to lead to a failure at these higher levels around 535 and 534. We do have this gap fill here up at about 529.18, so that gap will get filled. I believe SPY is going to probably try to push for that here on Monday, in my personal opinion. We'll probably see bullishness on Monday and probably Tuesday as it consolidates, trying to break above this level, and then we'll probably see in the later half of the week it trying to push up. As far as data sets dropping, we do have a lot of data sets dropping. We have ISM, JOLTS, and then we have ISM as well on Wednesday. We have ISM manufacturing on Monday. We have JOLTS on Tuesday. Friday's the big one though, okay? Friday's the big one. It's unemployment. We want to be watching this carefully. We want to be seeing if it's going up or down. The biggest data set, of course, is going to be next week with the core inflation, and we have FOMC. Look at this cluster right here, guys. So that is going to be absolutely insane. FOMC, Fed press conference, inflation and everything. That's not this week, that's next week. So it's going to be crazy. We have a crazy setup in the market, guys. Things are about to get wild. Be ready. You guys want to make money off of these moves, and that's what we do here. We've been predicting SPY accurately. We called for this pullback after we broke back inside of the bear flag, and we've been calling the weeks correctly as far as the candles. So make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe for accurate technical analysis. We called for a red week last week, called for a red week previous week before that, and then these weeks we all got right as well. And you guys can check the receipts on the channel. And we also did call for this major dump after we hit that 524, 525 top and pulled back and then led into this bear flag. So again, hit like and subscribe for accurate technical analysis, predictions, and news. Let's go ahead and hop into the meme stocks, showing you guys what's going on for the meme stocks. Meme stocks, in my personal opinion, are at some of the most exciting times possible. So many eyes are back on the meme stocks. Meme stocks also setting up on the macro. Again, that's what these videos are about. These weekly outlooks are the macro when in doubt. Zoom out the macro on AMC and GME, looking beautiful. AMC in an overall uptrend. This is the first time, okay? This is the first time in years that we have been able to say that we've been in an overall uptrend for a few weeks. We've been in a overall downtrend for a long time, ladies and gentlemen, and we are now finally starting to trend to the upside for multiple weeks in a row. This is bullish in my personal opinion. If we go ahead and look at what's going on the monthly MACD, and this is the key, monthly MACD curling back up, and I keep going back to this because the macro is the thing that will play out the most. Monthly MACD curling up, almost flipping green, and I keep going back to the Bitcoin demonstration. You guys can see Bitcoin with a falling wedge. Monthly MACD starting to curl up. Once it goes green, you get that disbelief style rally, and then you get that absolute push to the upside. I believe that once we get this green MACD, we are starting to get that disbelief rally. I believe that this is the very beginning of the disbelief rally right now, what we're seeing here, and this is going to lead into an overall uptrend, and for that could, for meme stocks, that could mean short squeezes. As far as metrics are concerned, GameStop is absolutely beastie. AMC metrics are good as well, but I want to give you guys all the facts straight. GameStop, as far as the short squeeze is concerned, as far as metrics, numbers, and data, is absolutely out of control. We want to start looking at FTDs again as well. So we're going to look at AMC FTDs, and we're going to look at GME FTDs as well, because FTDs are starting to come back for the meme stock. So we want to pay attention to that as well. Let's go ahead and show you guys the data sets that we're looking at here for AMC and GME. So, and this could change as early as Monday morning. So as far as shares available to borrow, they have 100,000 for AMC. That's not a lot of shares for AMC. As far as shares available to borrow, short interest sitting at 15.45%. Anything over 8 to 10% is enough for a short squeeze. GME sitting at 21.84% short interest. Incredible short interest numbers that could cause a massive short squeeze, and they have 2.1 million short shares for GME. They've been sitting on these shares since last week. I believe, again, this is just speculation, but I believe they are sitting on these shares because they know something big is about to happen, and they need shares on deck to try to stop what is about to happen. If we look at what cost to borrow is looking at for AMC, you guys can see that AMC is sitting at 2.13% on cost to borrow. We want to see these numbers come up, but GME's cost to borrow blasting to the upside. You guys can see GME's cost to borrow sitting at 14.10%. GME's cost to borrow blasting to the upside. Again, cost to borrow is indicative to price on the meme stocks. You guys can see literally once cost to borrow started to blast off, the meme stocks started to blast off. This is indicative of a movement, okay? Cost to borrow just shot up again for GME. I think GME is about to take off. That's why they have these 2.1 million short shares. They are sitting on them because they know this thing's about to take off. Look at what GME is doing right now in an overall uptrend from this bottom. This is a beautiful setup. Check this out as well. If we go ahead and just draw a line here and draw a line here, you guys will see that we are starting to make a pennant type style setup, and this is extremely bullish for a push to the upside. I am extremely bullish on the meme stocks. I know a lot of people are like losing hope, or quote unquote losing hope, or maybe getting impatient or whatever the case may be, but they have all the time in the world. These people have all the time in the world. They have all the capital in the world. So they will take their time and try to shake out as many people as possible. But I believe that the meme stocks are setting up, and I believe that there is a long operator, a whale, big money, someone with a lot of money buying AMC and GME stock, okay? I believe that somebody is accumulating in these ranges, and I'm going to talk about that on AMC as well. I dropped a little bit of information yesterday on the MOAS roadmap, but I believe that this is an accumulation phase. Okay, I'm not a Wyckoff expert. I'm not going to claim to be a Wyckoff expert. If there is anybody who's really good at Wyckoff, down in the comments, let me know if you guys think this could be a possible accumulation phase, if you think this could be a possible spring. But I believe that this was the accumulation phase. This was the spring. If we go ahead and just show you guys a little bit of a data set here, you guys can see you have your downtrend, your accumulation phase, and then your spring. Your spring always drops down, and that leads into your uptrend. So you guys can see that here on AMC. You have your downtrend, your accumulation phase, then you would have your spring, which could lead into an uptrend. And another thing that is interesting for AMC, you guys can see AMC is just popping to the upside here, and after hours it's not green, but you guys can see we got a little push to the upside, and that is confirming that we're breaking out of this falling wedge. You guys can see that we pushed to the upside, we retested the wedge as support, and this is confirming that the falling wedge is breaking out. And I believe on the macro time frame, on the bigger aspect of things, I believe that AMC is about to work its way back up towards that $5 level, and that could give us that cup shape that we need to push to the upside, and that would exactly correlate with the Wyckoff accumulation going into an uptrend after the dip down with the spring. So this is bullish in my personal opinion. I believe that people are accumulating here. I also put out more evidence as well because we had multiple buy orders. You guys can see this green block of orders down here. There's multiple buy orders here. You can also see in the options chain of GME, a whale, buying options, long data options. People are buying. I believe large money is accumulating. Now, again, this is also speculation, but hedge funds often sometimes go against each other as well. This could be another hedge fund. This could be a retail individual or a group of retail individuals with a lot of money, a lot of capital. We don't know exactly who it is, but I believe someone with deep pockets are accumulating AMC and GME stock, and I believe that we are going to see a move. As far as the MOAS roadmap is concerned, I did a whole video on that, and that's why I did a whole video on it so I could break it down. I believe we are still tracking, and I believe that we're about to see a push back to the upside, back to about $455 for AMC stock. And that's exactly what we need to see for a breakout. In order for phase 7 and 8 to happen, we have to break above all the previous ranges. You guys can see all the previous ranges get broken above, and the previous range is basically $5. If we can break above $5, confirm that as support, that could be the boost that we need for that phase 8 absolute blast off takeoff. That could be what we need to get above that level, could give us the momentum we need. Again, $5 is the level we're looking at, and I believe that we're setting up for this week to at least go to $4.50 in my personal opinion, but I believe that even $5 might be possible this week. They're going to fight like hell. They're going to fight like hell, and cost to borrow is low. But if GME starts to take off, which it could take off this week, if we break out of this pennant, GME could absolutely start to take off. We could see a push to the upside because both of these stocks run together. GME is set up in this bullish pennant. This is extremely bullish. GME breaking above the sloping resistance, you'll see a big pop to the upside. We need to see GME break above 23.72. So if we can break above 23.72 using that level of support, we could come to the upside, fill in this gap fill at $26, $27, and that could give us the momentum we need for AMC to push up as well. If we go ahead and look at the monthly MACD here on GameStop, it is literally about to flip green. And look at the volume on these stocks. 1.3 billion in volume on GME and 2.3 billion in volume on AMC. This is absolutely insane. If we go ahead and look at some other metrics as well, such as the OBV, if I can find it here, the OBV is sitting at all-time highs for these stocks. That means more people are holding than ever before. OBV is an indicator that can determine bullish or bearish outcomes, and this is saying a bullish outcome. So many people are holding, more are holding than ever before. You can also see GME breaking out of this falling wedge like I talked about with Bitcoin. If we start getting that MACD flip, we could start seeing that disbelief rally go into a euphoria style type rally, and for meme stocks, that means absolute squeezes. I am so bullish on the meme stocks right now. People, I don't understand why you would be losing hope now. The meme stocks are literally up hundreds of percentage points from the bottom. They're literally up 50%, 100% from the bottom. AMC's up about 50%, GME's up about like 97, 100% from the bottoms. These stocks have so much potential right now. AMC, I believe, is in this falling wedge. I think Monday what we're going to see is consolidation around that 428, 425 level. But I believe we're going to start pushing our way up to about 450 by Wednesday. I believe that we are going to go back for that $5 level. And I believe AMC is about to make a bullish push. I'm looking at a green week for AMC. Okay, so I'm thinking AMC is going to have a green week in my personal opinion. Now I'm going to give you guys some levels of what we're looking at for GME and let you know if I believe GME is going to be having a red week or not. But again, looking at all of the macro things, we are looking very, very good. GME sitting right above critical support and resistance of 22.93. I believe GME is going to consolidate. They are saving those shares. They could use those shares at any time to try to push it down. I believe they're saving it because they know GME is going to break out. And it looks like GME could potentially break out here on Monday, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like GME could break out here on Monday. What we want to do is hold 23.90 as support. If we can hold 23.90 as support, you are going to see a pop to the upside for GME stock. GME, if it breaks out of this pennant at 23.90, you're going to see a pop to the upside. This is extremely bullish. It looks like this could happen Monday. That's why they're holding these 2.1 million short shares, because they know that this thing is absolutely ready to take off, and that's what it looks like here as far as all of the indicators are concerned. Look how tight the Bollinger Bands are. This thing is absolutely ready to just explode. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this here on the 4-hour time frame above the blue medium line, green MACD, more indications of bullishness. This thing is absolutely about to blow. If we look at the super trend as well, we have signals that we haven't had in a while as well here on GameStop. Buy signal on the weekly time frame. This is the only other time we had a buy signal on the weekly time frame. We had this rally here, which was like 70-80%. And then, of course, we had the squeeze rally when we got that buy signal on the weekly time frame as well. So many bullish factors. I think GME is going to be having a green week. We have support at 22.50 if we come to the downside, 22.71 if we come to the downside. AMC, we have support at 420 and 416 if we come to the downside. I think AMC is probably going to retest those levels and bounce to the upside here on Monday, heading back towards 450. I think GME is going to consolidate and then try to break above 23.90 here on Monday. It probably is going to have to retest 22.50, but then we will try to get this breakout here in the later half of the day, and that would be a bullish push to the upside for GME. So expect possible bullishness here on Monday on GME. I think GME is going to be printing a green week. So as far as it is concerned, green week for SPY, green week for GME, and green week for AMC. Ladies and gentlemen, that was your weekly outlook and prediction. If you found this video informative, go ahead and drop a like and press subscribe for more content like this. You can check me out on Twitter and Discord for even more Datazero updates. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. They are linked in the description of this video. I'd really appreciate it if you give me a follow. Also, if you want to help out, leave a comment on this video. That helps out immensely, helps the video spread. Leave a like as well, and I appreciate it if you made to the end. And as always, y'all, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out. All right, y'all, that was the video. If you found it informative, go ahead and drop a like, leave a comment down below to help the video spread. And I appreciate you if you watch to the end of the video, because so few people watch to the end. That means you're getting all of your knowledge, all of your information, all of your data, and you will be successful. It takes 10,000 hours to master your craft, and you need to put in even more for the stock market. It's a zero-sum game. So I appreciate you guys. Make sure you get ready for this week ahead, get rested, and get all of the information you need. As always, y'all, stay safe. Have fun. Make money. Peace out.